From the Middle is a founding member of Odd Pods Media. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to episode number 309 of From the Middle. This week, we are three middle class guys living in the middle of America in middle chapters of our lives with cultural and societal points of view somewhere in the middle. I have a question for you. Kendall has some questions on the back end, some fun little riddles and a game that we play, but I have a question for you here up front. What do robots, dating games, Halloween candy, college football, and things that we're streaming have in common? This episode, we hope you enjoy.
Oh, for the love. Sorry, just clearing my Mountain Dew hole.
I got my phone hole cleaned today.
That's where you keep it? You're so cerebral and you're so developed and evolved.
Welcome back, Kory.
Hey guys, sorry I've been out. I've been a little busy with travel and work stuff, but man, I've been loving the episodes.
I'm glad you've got work going, buddy.
You and my wife, brother.
We've been thinking and praying for you and hoping that all of this works out. And so I'm delighted to hear that you're still moving about the country.
You're very kind. Thank you. Thoughts and prayers are appreciated. And God is just blessing our socks off. And I've been traveling, I think, almost every week for the last many weeks. And so thank you guys for your patience. And it's fun to be back with all of you. We were saying that before we clicked record. And sorry if you're watching on YouTube. I do not control my MacBook Pro's decisions on what the camera does on Zoom. But yeah, it's been a little wild. I've been in like 4 or 5 different cities in as many weeks. And Sherry and I have this little agreement, like, hey, while the getting is good, we're gonna get. And work gets kind of quiet in the executive consulting world in Q4 at the end of the year during the holidays. So we're like, hey, let's take all the jobs we can, especially when you're trying to build a freelance.
I'm betting like jobs and cold weather and things like that, right? Because if these are like executive summits, they probably want to do it in nice weather. If people are going to be traveling and stuff.
For sure, there's that. And then there's the like, who really wants to make a lot of strategic planning decisions in the late fall, early winter?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So you're trying to just wrap up your books for the year, and then you do that stuff in, first of the year, springtime. So anyway, it's good to be back with you all. Thank you for saying something. I'm in Seattle. It's Seattle behind me. Little water view. Can you see? Oh. Phone's trying to the MacBook's trying to find my face. It doesn't want to find the landscape. I feel like we got to talk about robots. I'm just going to come in hot here.
Yeah.
I feel like we're being lulled, or we're robots are infiltrating society slowly and quietly. And it wasn't until recently that I realized just how many use cases I'm seeing of robots. Like, I'm in the Seattle airport a few weeks back. I've just gone through security, and in front of me, cuts across the hallway, like a cross between a wheelchair and a rascal, driving itself to
no passengers
to pick someone up at a gate and take them to another gate. So there's a little monitor on the armrest of the robot, and it has like the person's name who it's reserved for. And it's just driving itself to that gate to pick up this individual to take them to their next gate. But what shocked me the most was that nobody, and I mean nobody around me, went like, that's crazy, or hey, what's this thing driving itself in front of all of us? They were just like, yeah, that's the airport robot for handicapped passengers.
Wow.
And then last week, I was in Silicon Valley, Sunnyvale to be exact, and I saw my first Waymo. Do you know Waymo?
Is that the thing that like delivers food and stuff? Or no?
It might be able to, but it's a driverless car.
Oh, okay.
You talked about Uber last week or the week before. I think you're going to pay about double for a Waymo, but it's got cameras all over it. It's completely driving itself. And I was in Silicon Valley 10 years ago interviewing for a job with Hewlett Packard, and I saw my first driverless car. And my observations of the car that day were that it was very cautious. It was very slow.
Okay.
Cars were like passing it. It's been 10 years. This Waymo did a left-hand turn at the intersection in front of me and changed 2 lanes, like not aggressively, but confidently.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So now there's airport robots, driverless cars. We've already talked about the lawn mowing robots. I just think we're not talking enough about how many robots. Like if you would have told any of us in grade school, hey, when you're 40, there's going to be robots basically everywhere you go doing stuff.
Either that, probably, but half jokingly, half serious. I think we also would have thought that we would have had like flying cars and
for sure,
and like actual like humanoid robots everywhere.
That's true.
So it's like I could see both extremes there from being a kid. Like, I wonder if I'm going to have a flying car when I grow up. That'd be awesome. And that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But
what are you guys' thoughts on the matter? I mean, are we just from the Midwest flyover states and we don't recognize that there's some amazing technological advancements being made under our noses? They have robot Olympics now where they're competing like feats of strength and agility.
Yeah.
Stuff they can do is getting pretty wild. But yes, I could make the case that we probably would have thought we would have had Back to the Future hoverboards by now.
First of all, I'm disappointed we're not talking about the 2005 animated film of the same name, Robots. I thought that's where you were going with the titular character being voiced by Ewan McGregor. So since that's not the robots we're talking about, let me indulge your subject.
You're disappointed anytime we're not talking about Ewan McGregor.
True, that's accurate. Also, in some ways I feel like we've seen some of this coming, and then other use cases we haven't at all. And I think that's the surprising piece. It's like I don't think anyone's surprised that they slapped a giant touchscreen in a fast food lobby and you can go order your own food. That's not a robot. That's just like, but like levels of automation that probably like, oh, that makes sense. But then when I see things like, to your point, at like the airport, the coffee robot arm machines that are just behind a thing and it's just whipping up all kinds of drinks. And then you've got ones that like make pizzas and make food and they're just, whipping out food in a thing and putting it in it, that's much more surprising. So no flying cars, touchscreens and automation things, less surprising. Driverless cars. And really, if we're training all of these things off of humans, no wonder they're so confident whipping on a left turn, into the far lane. They're like, this is what I see in all the movies that I binge to train myself. I've seen so many 80s cop movies as a driverless car to train itself. That's what it's using. So just whipping through traffic like Eddie Murphy, in Beverly Hills Cop.
Full disclosure, I was in an Uber when this Waymo turned in front of me on my way to get 2 In-N-Out double doubles. So it literally felt like the end of Wall-E. Like I'm having a human driver take me to get burgers while a Waymo pulls out in front of us. That was kind of funny.
What about the little ones that are on the sidewalk that like deliver food and stuff?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
even
that's what I thought you were talking about at
yeah,
first.
not even the like drones, which like flying cars is really one giant drone away that can pick up a human. You know what I mean? Like we're not that
Yeah.
far off. But like the little ones that are like the sidewalk ones that'll like take pizzas and stuff,
Yeah.
also crazy. And then you see the like Amazon warehouses where these like tracks on the floor and these things are like scooting all over the place, moving stuff around. Wild, wild stuff.
I saw a video of one of those like robot coolers going down the street, going down to the sidewalk, and then crossing a crosswalk in front of a fire truck, lights and sirens going. And you could see that this thing had a program in it somewhere to like yield to emergency vehicles, but that kicked in, or it saw or heard it experienced the fire truck too late, and so when it stopped literally right in front of the fire truck, and the fire truck stopped, and it like backed up a little bit, went forward a little bit, like obviously was caught, didn't know what to do. Eventually, after a few seconds, it did back up, and then stop, and the fire truck was able to go through. So it had a problem to solve, and it took it a little longer than it should have to solve that problem.
Yeah, it's easy to make fun of these now because we're still in the stage where they're not smart enough. But we're not very far from them being smarter than us. You know what I mean? Oh, I wonder what Ewan McGregor would think of all this.
Friend of the show, Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
I wish.
Him and Luda. Anyway, it's good to be back with you guys. Thanks. I just felt like that was a really front top of mind question that I had to discuss. What's going on?
Do you feel like it's especially you notice it more because we're in the Midwest? We see very little of that here. Like we're not the New York or the San Franciscos or the Los Angeles where we probably see so much less of it now that it's a stark contrast when you go to a place, you go to like the West Coast, like the tech hubs, and then all of a sudden it's just in all these test grounds are like in your face now. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, I mean, I think like maybe we don't recognize how prevalent it might be because of like, I mean, we've heard of it, we've seen it. Like if you pay attention to news and read news, like I'm aware of these things, but I mean, I've never seen a robot delivering food going down a sidewalk before. I heard about like, I think it was the Domino's who had cars like Teslas maybe that were delivering food in some city somewhere, and I think they were like even like baking the pizza in the car on the way to the delivery spot, and then like the back passenger side window opens and the like a finished pizza comes out, or it was something crazy like that was going on.
Well, I can just see somebody going like, I don't want them robots delivering my pizza. And they're like, what if we told you it was smart enough to not start baking it until it was perfectly timed to pull up at your house, and it's like bing as it like turns to your sidewalk, and then it's like that same person's like, I'm listening, because super fresh hot pizza. I'm pretty intrigued. I still wish we had the Back to the Future pizza machine, but we're not there yet.
That's two Back to Future references in just a few minutes. You're probably right though, Dylan. Like we're not as close to it. I was watching Soft White Underbelly, which we've talked about on the podcast before. It's a photographer who photographs and interviews people down on their luck in primarily LA. In oh shoot, I always forget the name of that really sketchy part of LA. Really bad. Doesn't matter. Anyway, and no, it's the stretch in downtown LA. Anyway, and it was LA. Following one of the people, and this homeless person is on drugs, and it's just doing a day in the life of this person to see what their life is. Skid Row. To see a day in the life of this person's, and this person is just, they're being very reckless and aloof and just sort of like out there, and they're going into pizza places and throwing napkins around, and just they're high. They're not in their right mind. And the person goes outside and there's one of those delivery robots, and they just start like kicking it and sitting on it and not thinking like, wow, what a crazy world we're in. They're like, oh yeah, another one of these things. And they're just in it. It like goes into panic mode, and it just like goes red, 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 red until the subject of the documentary goes away, and then it goes about its business to keep cooking that pizza to be delivered. But yeah, it's just wild to me. And the car thing, you've read the articles about these semis that are on, stretches of highway that are, for the most part, pretty quiet or secluded, going at high rates of speed. And that's one thing. But the Waymo kind of threw me because it just looks like a regular car with a lot of cameras on it. I actually thought it was like a Google Maps or like an Apple Maps camera car at first.
Yeah.
But if you Google image search the Amazon Zoox, Zoox, that's a car where the passengers are sitting on the ends looking inward at each other. So it doesn't even look like a regular car. It just looks like a box where the passengers are facing inward, and it's taking them all to different destinations.
Wow.
And the wheels are on the most like extreme ends. It's a wild looking contraption. But yeah, it's just like, in some ways, yes, Kendall, you're right. And that was Sherry's reaction too. Like, probably younger version of us would have thought we'd be a little further. And yet, like, real practical use cases of all of what's going on. It's pretty wild. Anyway, what are you guys thinking about?
Well, heard a statistic today that 1 in 4 people admits to having to buy more Halloween candy because they ate the Halloween candy that they bought for trick-or-treaters. Which I hear that, and I think that means that 3/4 of the population are liars.
Right.
But that's us in our household. We bought a package of gummy bears, and I mean, we're not going to go through all of it by the time Halloween comes around, but somehow it got opened up. I'm not the one who opened it, but there's a lot of packages of gummy bears missing from the bag of gummy bears.
Naturally. I want a follow-up question on that survey for the 75% that says, if you don't have to go buy more, how many of you 75% overbuy intentionally? Because that number, like, you go to Costco every year and they have a huge bag of like mixed chocolate candies and then a huge bag of mixed fruity candies. And we know it's too much. Every year it's too much. But each of those giant bags is about $20 each. So we just buy one of each of those and then dump them into 2 bowls. And then people have their pick of like fruity or chocolate. And we know it's too much. We have to you're telling the kids to take handfuls by the end, and there's still candy left over. So I bet of that 75%, most of them overbuy, and they know they're going to have too much, and they are excited about it.
Yeah, listen, I mean, they've been selling those trick or treat bags of candy at the grocery stores for like a month and a half now. So they know what they're doing. Yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful initiative that came out. Like, give the soldiers overseas your leftover Halloween candy. But how many people were like, dang it?
Question on the Halloween candy thing. Have either of you ever done full candy bars?
Yeah.
To all kids and adults, or just a segmented group?
It was actually the church Kendall and I were a part of. That was part of their thing. They said, go to your neighborhoods and we're going to finance full candy bars. And the neighborhood was like, let's go to this house on the dead end. They got full candy bars. And it got a little out of hand. But yeah. So it was like, we want to be the differentiator. And there was a little message, and it was like, come to visit our some cheeky thing about like isn't this sweet? Or something.
So these were church funded full candy bars. You haven't used your own money though, is what I'm asking.
Correct.
Is that correct? Do you feel like in our part of the country, if you're doing that on your own for fun, if you're one of those, I don't know anybody who are those people without, church funds or some other like company funds or something like that. Do you feel like that's when you've arrived, maybe come Halloween season?
Oh,
Like,
that's a good arrival question.
is that
Yeah.
is that when you feel like when you're like, let's just do all big
That
packs of Skittles, big chocolate bars,
that feels more like a flex on your neighbors.
but like
The,
to even be able to do it though.
sure, but it's like maybe you stretched a little farther than you were comfortable with to let the neighbors know what's up.
Or like our Midwest sensibilities too, are they going to just overtake that urge? Like, no, we're not buying, Susan, no, just get the little ones. They're kids. They can have the small.
Well, I know that there's a few houses in our neighborhood that give away full size stuff every year.
You should ask them if they feel like they've arrived when you go.
Yeah. Is this, do you feel good about it? Do you feel big now? Do you feel like you've made it? Is this it? Is this?
How many robots do you have in your house currently? And what services do they perform for you?
There's two in the backyard mowing right now.
Be discreet.
I love
Is that a sign of arriving? I don't know, but green wine glasses, decanters for your mouthwash, full-size candy bars. Yeah, it might be.
Where does Kendall live? Now I feel like I want to go on the internet after and start Googling bougiest Halloween gift ideas and see some of the reels and some of the prep that people do. It feels a little bit like when people put out things at the holidays for the delivery drivers, but not just like, here's the small water bottles. It's like a small buffet on their front porch of like snacks and sodas and all big drinks and energy drinks and stuff like that. That feels like real swanky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look that up after and see if I can find some fun ones.
I don't know if I can go any further without commenting on the length of your facial hair, Dylan. Is this the longest it's ever been? Are you getting an early start on November? It's giving Wild West.
Yeah. I don't know that this is the longest it's ever been. Even being able to answer that question would imply that any amount of thought has really gone into this. And,
Okay.
And there has not been.
It's creating shadows. There's shadows.
This is the I work from home and just don't feel like shaving. And
Nice.
here we are. Yeah, it should theoretically need trimmed or whatever, but maybe next week it'll be gone. You never know.
Speaking of handsome men, I have an idea for a dating show. And I'm going to paint with a broad stroke in order to make a point. I don't actually feel or group people in this way, but just work with me.
Exercise caution.
I have some friends and colleagues who live in places that one would traditionally call more liberal.
Okay.
And so their dating sphere on the apps and in the places that they go to socialize is primarily comprised of other people on one end of the political spectrum, socio-political spectrum. And it occurred to me as one of my friends was lamenting date after date after date who has presented or the reason that these dating relationships have not worked out. I felt while listening, if you were dating someone from the Midwest, one, you would never even hear some of these things being uttered back to you. Like, your high demand job is just causing me a lot of anxiety and I can't hear about it, which is why I've gone back to alcoholism.
Oh,
or
wow.
like,
Oh.
or like, this is just causing me too much, like very, I don't even want to use the word, but just very. And it made me think this person would benefit from a good old fashioned walk on the correct side of the sidewalk when you're with a lady, open her door. So the reason I said I'm not painting with broad strokes is because I'm fully aware that not everyone in the Midwest acts the way I just described, just as well as I'm very aware that people in more coastal, liberal, woke places act the way that I presented before. So, but I'm just saying, I wonder what it would be like if you had a dating show where people who thought they were really, really, really far on a spectrum away from a type of person actually found that that's actually what they've been looking for. And it's been implied in shows before, reality shows before, where it's like, hey, let's put the hillbilly with the girl from the big city and just see what happens.
Right. Like wife
That's already
swap
been
stuff.
that's
Yeah.
already been done. But let's like call it out explicitly. Like you're a way over here person, and we're gonna hook you up with this like way over here person. And I would like the positive spin on the show to be that they're pleasantly surprised that a class of person or the way a person voted that they would have completely ruled out before was actually everything they've been looking for. Or at least they found like this beautiful common ground. It probably wouldn't work.
Yeah.
But it just made me think my friend who was, I mean, it was seriously like story after story after story of these very like thin, not really good reasons for breaking up with someone. And I was just like, what? This is like a very soft, I'm being very careful with my words. I was just like, you just need a good guy from the Midwest who's going to be respectful and like kind. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah. Like find some traditional values.
Yeah.
I mean, the politics don't necessarily have to match up. That's there are some swaths of there's some generalization, but
100%.
the politics and the values don't necessarily have to meet those generalizations.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because
so I said it poorly. That's better said.
Yeah, because it's like the opposites attract theory played out in a game show, but it really becomes a dating show. It really becomes an exercise in the people's willingness to be open minded.
Yes, that's what it is.
It's really what it becomes. Because if you're like, my beliefs are right, no matter or left, or I don't mean literally right or left, like politically. I mean my beliefs are correct. Anyone with opposing viewpoints are wrong. Then
Yes.
that's just never going to work. But if people come in and the part of the filter to get through to the show is you have to be genuinely open-minded to I have my beliefs, but I'm open to somebody on the opposite end of the spectrum and dating to see how that would go.
And the dating concept is just a microcosm of what part of our desire behind this podcast was to be, which is while we never get political, we think it's very interesting to have conversations and be open-minded to a thought process outside of your own. So what if in a career or dating or whatever, you found that a group of people that you had completely ruled out and thought had nothing to offer you was actually very helpful to you or additive to you, or I just had that thought and wanted to know what you guys thought about it.
Yeah, a willingness to be open and ultimately people who are kind either direction is going to make that way more successful than anyone who's stubborn and closed-minded and whatever. And it, to your point, is the spirit of what we're trying to do. Like regardless of what topic we have or what we're talking about, our willingness to sort of sit and listen and engage. And
Kendall brings up a good point because my friend is not closed-minded. In fact, she's very open-minded, but I would say that she probably would not consider a person from a certain region or as a registered voter for a certain party, think that she could find a certain someone in that group. But then I think when you find, and if you believe this concept that we're actually not as far apart as the media would have us believe, that you're actually probably only a few clicks away from somebody, and you probably agree on more issues than you think you would.
Yeah.
That you would find, oh, this is what I've been looking for in a significant other. They take ownership and responsibility, and they're hardworking, and they're not blaming me for their problems. And they're, like just coming from a certain background, lifestyle, and value set. Way too serious. But I think it could be an interesting concept to just call it out explicitly.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I like that. I do appreciate every example that I see of people, even of different political persuasions, being able to come together and have real conversations that aren't belittling about politics. And I feel like that this is the same kind of thing, only like better, only more serious about something that actually matters more. Right.
Yeah. Because we can find an issue that we can at least come to the table and discuss.
Right.
But if you're saying the trajectory of my life and my desire to build a family, even if it's only ever a 2-person family, to start a life with a person, and our values align, and we want to go out into the world and make it a better place and grow in the process and have beautiful, wonderful experiences with somebody I never thought I would have considered. And I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
Feel free to steal the idea, pitch it as a show, give us credit and all of the residuals. Feels like a great time to take a break and hear some words from some of our friends and Odd Pods Media.
Hey, this is Grab and Brisket Podcast. Join us every Monday where we talk about the latest trends in barbecue, interviews with world top pitmasters, celebrity cooks.
Ooh, like Wee Man from Jackass.
And musicians.
Like Rich O'Toole.
So check us out. We do beer reviews, barbecue fails.
So many fires.
Dude, a lot of people just burn their houses down for no reason.
We also talk about cocaine hippos versus Beth Gators.
Learn how to make some tailgate gravy.
Altercations with Texas Rangers.
People throwing Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah. So check out grabthebrisket.com for podcast info, viral social media posts, and so much more.
I was excited to come back, you guys, and talk about two things: food and sports. See, what happens when I leave is you're like, Kory's gone. We can talk about food and sports.
Yeah.
I got thoughts. Baseball history happened with a 15-inning Mariners game.
It was a Tigers game, but
Tigers game. Did the Mariners also go into 15 innings?
It was the Mariners and the Tigers.
Yes. Okay.
And the Tigers lost.
Okay. Well, I'm in Seattle.
It was an elimination game, it was record-breaking history for an elimination game, a game 5 in this case, or a game 7 if it's a 7-game series. Record-breaking length by inning.
My colleague was there. That's the only reason I'm talking about it. You know that, of course, because I wouldn't have come up with that news on my own. Sherry also wanted me to talk about the fall of Penn State and what's going on there. So I'm sure you guys have thoughts on that. So let's get into it. College football, Major League Baseball. What's up?
Well, I can speak to the baseball game because I'm sitting there. I'm actually like playing Talisman, which is a board game with some of my nerd friends. And this game is going on and I'm watching it on my phone. And like, next thing you know, like I'm trying to figure out like where my battery pack is so I can keep my phone charged because this game just won't stop. And I didn't get home till like 1 o'clock ish, somewhere around there. And in the morning, and the game is still like I finished the game at home on my own TV. It was nuts. And the whole time, very low scoring game, very wonderful pitching battle if you're into that kind of thing. If you like good defensive games where it's just like all struggle, that's what it was. And man, pitching staffs on both sides. And then you start getting into the fact on the other side that like the other series, so the team that won their series and is waiting for the winner of this game, like they had already been resting for like 2 days. And then you like, from a Tigers fan perspective, like because we went to the full 5 games, we're already using our ace of a pitcher, our possible Cy Young Award winner of a pitcher. He started that game. And then the bullpen, and games like that, the bullpen just starts going so deep, but it's also an elimination game. So it's all hands on deck. And so now our second starting pitcher, who would be starting in the next game, in like the 13th inning, we're like, we have no choice but to try to win this game. And so throw him out there and use him up. So even if the Tigers would have won that game, and the Mariners were in a similar boat, but even if the Tigers would have won that game, they would have been going into game 1 of the American League Championship Series with pitcher number 3, which for the Tigers is a big deal because they're doing a 4-game rotation right now with only 3 starters and a bullpen game is what the Tigers have been doing. But the Mariners now, as we're recording this, they're now up 2-0. In the ALCS. So they obviously weathered it just fine.
Back to Seattle for game 3 with the Blue Jays.
That's right.
Sports
ball, man.
You mentioned your nerdy friends. I know some of your nerdy friends, and I really enjoy some of your nerdy friends. And no game sounds nerdier than Talisman.
There are a lot of crass jokes about calling it Talesman. No, it's a fun game. I recommend it. It's complicated. That's the kind of games that we tend to play.
Let's go.
It's cool. You're running around a board trying to fight each other and eventually trying to fight a dragon to kill everyone else off. That's what the game is.
Love it. I'm very fun. I do not judge the geeky and nerd traditions.
I'm Googling it now. The board looks interesting. I think I would thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just out with the boys drinking again, huh, Kendall? No. Just playing a dragon game called Talisman.
There's this group of us that like we try every month. It's probably more like every 2 or 3 months that we actually end up getting together. But one of the guys, his wife, had a really hard time believing that he was getting together with his friends and this is what we were doing. And like she was accusing him of going to see strippers with us. And so we had a text group for a while that the text group was called Secret Stripper Party.
That reminds
which was Settlers of Catan and Talisman and
Yeah. Have you guys seen the reel of some lady recording her husband packing for a guy's getaway or a bachelor party or something? And it's the reel, however long it is him debating on what board games he can fit in his luggage because they won't all fit. And just hers like, not worried at all about my husband's trip. And it's just, he's got him like set out on the bed because he's just trying like, I'm not going to be able to fit them all, but we're going to need to play, very much in line.
This is like the meme that never gets old about like the couple in bed and they're facing opposite directions. And she's like, I bet he's thinking about other women. And he's like thinking about like something about Star Wars lore or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
We're much simpler, dumber, and geekier than expected. That's funny. But yeah, college football has been kind of wild.
It's been a ton of fun. On your Penn State thing, very recent news as of this recording, James Franklin canned. It has to be one of the quickest turnarounds from national champion hopeful to getting canned without some sort of scandal. Some sort of, committed fraud.
So like our hand was forced kind of thing.
Abuse, something like that. Like just straight up performance based. wild. He's gonna still make bank for a while, apparently. So,
Oh, for
I
sure.
knew about one of their losses. Sherry filled me in on the whole thing and the craziness of all of the games and how hyped they were coming into the season. And my question to her, and it is a question now to you, it would be interesting, and this is the stuff that ESPN 30 for 30s are made out of, but like it's not all on one person. Yes, there is one person where it is with them that the buck stops, but like, is this a culture issue? Is this like players in the portal who are playing individual games for individual stats and not playing team sports? Like it'd be fascinating, and you guys know I always like to break things down and figure out why. But like, why? What is the? It would be fascinating to learn one day because I'm not sure we know yet. Like, unless you work there and are a part of the system, like, why the fall? Like, why the huge turn?
It's interesting, right? Because he's been there for a long time now,
Yeah, he
and
was the one that brought him out all of the scandal stuff and
yeah, he's had a lot of success there too.
rebuilt the culture after a lot of hard stuff.
I've heard theories, not specifically about him, but I feel like maybe it could be about him. Where a good example, and I can't remember his name, the previous coach for the Bengals, Marvin Lewis.
Yeah.
Or he was a guy that was kind of used as an example of this, where it's like there are guys who are good at coaching, really good, but they're good for a specific purpose and for a specific period of time. And Marvin Lewis was used as an example of a coach who was good at taking a team out of the dumps and putting a certain culture together, putting some people together, and making some administrative decisions that can get a team relatively competitive, and then a few steps, if they really muster it, a little bit more, but doesn't quite have the grit or character or whatever to be among the best.
What of Eve?
But I don't understand that reference. But okay. So they were saying that like Marvin Lewis, good football coach, great for the Bengals while they had him, that it was time when they moved on from him. And then when they did, like they went to a Super Bowl. Now, maybe it's time for them to try something else again. But so maybe it's that, like Penn State,
Joe Flacco,
like Joe Flacco. So Penn State could be kind of in the similar boat. Like they went from scandal and really needed to rebuild in some ways there as far as the culture goes. And he did that. And they were really good, had a lot of success, they were always a part of the conversation. But when you try to look at like conference championships and playoff success, they didn't quite get there. So maybe it's that, and it kind of took a bad season for some people I'm literally applying this theory that I heard elsewhere to him on the spot right now, but I'm wondering if that might have something to do with it.
That was Sherry's hypothesis as well. And there was a famous inspirational leadership talk that we once heard where the speaker says, "Do you know what happens to water at 211 degrees? Nothing. But you turn it up 1 degree and it boils and you can move trains."
Yeah.
Right. And it's kind of like that, right? It's like good coaches versus great, and then, phenomenal coaches. It was what you're saying. And so Sherry said, I think there's probably no better example of a team sitting at 211 degrees than Penn State. Right. It's just like that one, possibly. I mean, we're just outsiders speculating and hypothesizing, but it's like maybe that's the case. Right. But it's just fascinating with how much big talk was on them going in. And then some pretty embarrassing losses.
Yeah. That's Dylan.
To me, it's like he clearly couldn't win the biggest game. So I think that like that's been pinpointed and obvious for some time. Um, but sometimes the question, it's like the whole fire Ryan Day thing, before the playoffs last year. Sometimes my question is like, but who are you gonna get? Like, who? I mean, what's truly the ceiling for a team like Penn State? Anyone could at any time go compete for a national championship, surely. But like, I don't know. There's only if you look at every national championship in 2010 to 2020, it came out of one of like 6 states or 5 states or something like that. It's like Ohio, South Carolina, Florida, Alabama, Louisiana. I'm probably missing one. So like I don't know. Um I don't know what obviously their expectations are to play and win a national championship, but sometimes I just don't know who they're planning on getting and what they think the shakeup will be that will turn it around. And for most Big Ten teams, 10-2 is a very successful season. For most teams in the country, that would be a wildly successful season. And so I'll be interested to see who they hire next that they think will fix it, because he did consistently have a lot of success. It was just the biggest games he couldn't win, and until this year with some really bad losses. So yeah, I don't have anything new or crazy to say, but I'm always kind of interested in like who do they see out there that's next. That'll be the thing that they're sure enough that they would pay a buyout. They're sure we'll fix it, because you don't do that unless you're very sure you've got better options.
True.
So there you go. Other than that, the college football season has been very fun. There's been lots of great games. Ohio State is still undefeated as of this moment, which has been fun. There's been lots of good upsets, which has been fun. And I'm having a great time. We're using YouTube TV this year to check out stuff. The games you miss, you can do the watch key plays thing, which was really nice. I've done the split 4 screens thing, which has been nice, as much as I can. So that's not about college football itself, but has made college football more enjoyable this season than expected.
My experience with YouTube TV over the last year has been nothing but positive. I'm not stoked that Disney Plus is going up an exorbitant amount again, but yeah, YouTube TV for the win.
Yeah, it's been great. So thanks for the reco, Kory.
Oh, well, that was just born out of what was it? Which somebody's license agreement wasn't worked out and we were going to miss a Buckeye game. Oh, it was freaking Spectrum didn't have their crap figured out with.
It was for the Texas game, the season opener with Texas that didn't look like they were going to have the rights to.
And so we were on the fence with Spectrum anyway. And Sherry's like, that's it. We're switching to YouTube TV. And
because it's always something with the cable channels, right?
But then YouTube TV didn't have its agreements figured out for the first game this season until like right up until the wire. So they almost did the same exact thing.
Yeah, that's the way negotiations work these days. I have a quick game we could play.
Okay.
You guys are familiar with 2 truths and a lie?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 2 truths and a lie. This is one that I came across a couple weeks ago, which I kind of read through, so I'm not going to play. But it's about weird state laws. Okay, so I'm about to tell you 2 truths and a lie. You guys have to guess which one is fake, which one is the law that is not true. Starting with New York. Law number 1. It's illegal to throw a ball at someone's head for fun. Number 2, it's illegal to hang clothes on a clothesline without a license. Number 3, it's illegal to whistle at a pigeon.
I think the ball at the head is not the real one.
Yeah, same.
You think that's not the real one? Because the other 2 are so ridiculous.
No,
that one seems like it should be, so it's kind of red herring. Is that what you're thinking?
No, for me, like the clothesline is a visual. It's unsightly, and it can make the town look bad. And then you don't want a flock of pigeons.
Gotcha.
to like be startled and cause a issue.
So which one of these is fake though? So two of these are actual laws. One of them.
So I'm saying the ball of the face is fake.
The ball. Okay.
Yeah.
The one that is. Oh wait, hold on a second. Maybe I'm interpreting this thing wrong. Which New York law is fake? Oh, the one that is fake is it's illegal to whistle at a pigeon. That is the fake one. The other two are real laws.
And then you also have there's many states have weird laws, but they're not enforced at all. So it's totally reasonable that some weird laws can be on the books. And it's like, it's technically a thing, but like nobody ever.
Exactly. Yeah. We've all heard of the weird laws, like walking backwards while chewing gum in front of the courthouse kind of thing that obviously they don't prosecute, but but it's still on the books.
They're like, thanks, Uncle Steve. Like one person was clearly in mind when a certain law was made. Yeah. Okay. So you can whistle at pigeons is what I'm hearing.
You can totally whistle at pigeons.
Check, add it to the to-do list.
Boy, do I.
All right. Which New Jersey law is totally made up? In Teaneck, it's illegal to spit on the sidewalk. Number 2, in Mount Laurel, it's illegal to stick gum in someone's hair. Number 3, in New Milford, it's illegal to release a balloon.
I'm going to go with the balloon. That seems so odd. I don't know. I don't feel confident in my answer, but I'm going to go with the balloon.
I don't have an answer.
Okay. The fake one is in Mount Laurel, it's illegal to stick gum in someone's hair. Spitting on a sidewalk in Teaneck can result in a $25 fine. Releasing a balloon in New Milford, $500 fine.
Ding dang.
Yeah. They take their balloons seriously. Which California law is made up? In San Francisco, it's illegal to walk an elephant down Market Street without a leash. Number 2, it's illegal to eat a frog if it dies during a frog jumping contest. Number 3, in Los Angeles, it's illegal to put a dog in a tutu.
Why do these annoy me like puns do? I don't. Something about these annoys me because it's almost like they're so specific. Like there was one instance, like who's the person? I don't know why these.
I'm going to say tutu is not real.
The one about the
elephant without a leash, eating a frog jumping
on a
contest.
specific street,
on
though.
A certain street.
Yeah, on Market Street, right?
That one.
It is the tutu.
Yeah, that to me was
totally
like
fine.
It wasn't because the other two were absurd. It's like there are definitely people in LA who want to put tutus on their dogs. There's no way that's a law. I could see the other things being totally things that were very specific incidents that happened that a law was created. But I'm like, that's too broad. People are going to put tutus on dogs.
That's a matter of fact. That's what I think of when I think of Southern California.
Are they into apps? Or dating shows is the question.
Okay. Which Alabama law is a fib? Yawning twice while speaking to a police officer is illegal. Using stink bombs within the city of Mobile is prohibited. Walking down the street with an ice cream cone in your back pocket is illegal.
Third one this is not real.
Yawning twice. First one.
Yawning twice is the fake one.
I'm convinced I've heard the ice cream cone one before. I'm sure of it.
I can just imagine an old white though being like, you know what's disrespectful? Yawning in my face. You know what's even more disrespectful? Yawning twice.
Yawn at me once, shame on me.
Yeah,
and yawn at me twice, shame on me. You can't yawn at me again.
Yeah, this feels like an idiom
do you guys remember that?
Alabama, like you guys did before. It's like you should never yawn in a police officer's face. ... twice.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
From experience, I've definitely been picked up for smoke bombs in Mobile. That's not a cheap fine, so you want to be careful about it.
Yeah. Let's see. We have friends in Texas. We'll end on this one for now. And if we're in a jam, I'll pull this out again. Which Texas law is not real? It's illegal to milk another person's cow. Keep your hands off my Bessie. It's illegal to jump rope while crossing the street. It's illegal to try to change the weather.
Well, I do think 3 became a law, so I'm going to say the second one.
3's not real.
3's not real. It's 2. It's totally illegal to try to change the weather in Texas.
I think this is the whole cloud seeding thing that's come up in the last few years, and I'm pretty sure Louisiana and Texas passed those laws.
I clearly don't understand the spirit of this game, and I'm even more annoyed.
Well, then my work here is
good job.
It's been a long day. Let's talk about some things we are excited about, and we can wrap up with a few things we're streaming. I will start and just say that Black Rabbit on Netflix with Jason Bateman and Jude Law is fantastic. It's dark, it's a little rough in spots, but it's also got a lot of dry comedy and brotherly love. I cried at the finale. It's a limited series about 2 brothers who go into the restaurant business in New York and get caught up in some stuff. It's just good TV, man. I really enjoyed streaming that. And now I am halfway through another show called House of Guinness on Netflix, which is a fiction based on true events about Benjamin Guinness dying and passing the brewery, the famous Guinness brewery, to his 4 kids. And so it's like a little bit of Succession meets Bridgerton, in that it's a period piece, but laid over top of the scenes are modern day songs. So you'll have like an old timey late 19th, you go back, late 1800s fight scene with the Dropkick Murphys playing over top of it.
Nice.
And so it's kind of this fun, historically based. It's about Guinness in Ireland with modern day music and the grunginess of like a modern day show. So it has that. I never watched Bridgerton, but when I was describing House of Guinness to a colleague today, they were like, oh, so they did the Bridgerton thing where they just put modern music over top of old timey stuff. So I said, yeah, I guess so. So that's fun. I'm about halfway through.
Bridgerton still does everything in the vein of like Piano Guys. It's still meant to sound like classical music, but you'll recognize like a Maroon 5 theme or something.
Oh, no, this is just straight up the Dropkick Murphys playing like...
I feel like what you're describing is more like the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, great example.
It's like a modern film set in a distant era, and it's the cuts and the editing and the music and the things have or like a Knight's Tale use like We Will Rock You and songs like that.
Yes, that's great examples. I was thinking of the Sherlock Holmes example as I was describing it, but you pointed it out. So if you like Irish accents, if you like a fake story of the creation of Guinness, and if you like music, there was an Irish rap song in it, and they were singing like the Irish language, the Celtic Irish language to rap. And I'm like, I have never heard that in my life. So it's kind of fun. So House of Guinness, Black Rabbit and House of Guinness. That's what's up.
Nice. So we got another free trial of Apple TV. Well, plus it's now been rebranded to Apple TV. So you can watch Apple TV on your Apple TV if you are into that kind of thing. And I watched Brett Goldstein's new movie, All of You. And I'm going to be honest, several weeks later, I still don't even know how to feel about it. It's definitely a drama. It's got a little Black Mirror-esque. There's like a, dating app takes over the world and pairs people with their perfect match. But then that doesn't really have anything to do with the movie, which is like a romantic drama. It's not a comedy at all. It's serious. I think all the acting was good. Was interesting. There's not many movies that I walk away and never quite figure out how I feel about it, but this was one of them. So if you love Brett Goldstein, maybe go check it out on Apple TV. But yeah, that's the only thing kind of note that's been interesting that I've watched recently that I thought I'd mention. So, um, if you're unsure and you don't want to walk away feeling any which way, then maybe don't watch it. But if you love Brett Goldstein and you like weird movies, check it out.
Good. I haven't streamed anything recently either. It's been all about the sports still for me. So recently got the Sling, which I'm going to be unloading. Sling and is now ESPN and Fox Sports have joined together for a combined streaming service. So I'll be doing that. And then watching YouTube videos really in between, which, for me is mostly like cooking videos and sports videos. And Hacksman is a guy that I've been watching a lot of his stuff lately. And he's basically like a DIYer, does stuff around his house. And I don't know why that interests me so much, because like I'm not going to do most of the things that he does ever, but I still like learning about it. So I'm doing that. Hacksman. I recommend him. He's funny.
Hacks, as in
Hacksman.
HACKS.
CKS.
CKS.
Yes. Yeah. Let me find it here.
Nice.
While you're doing that, do you feel like ESPN and Fox teaming up together for an app is sort of like the rebels and the Empire joining forces to conquer a galaxy far, far away?
I do.
I wonder what Ewan McGregor thinks of that.
Kendall, it's been a minute since you've been entertained by the world of sports entertainment and professional wrestling. Do you miss it?
I do miss it. And, and it comes up sometimes in pulp culture. And I'm just like, I wish I knew what was going on, man.
I know. I've seen a few things here and there, and I know they've got some stuff on Netflix, right? They
do have some stuff on Netflix. They also have stuff on, I don't think they're on Peacock anymore, but they were on USA. And then maybe Peacock is where their premium live events are. And so if you want to watch all of it, you basically have to submit yourself to 3 different streaming services to watch all of it. And that's where I said, not doing that.
Yeah, I think Sherry's getting close to doing that with Disney if they keep up this nonsense. But like, how there's like Facebook groups of people that are like figured out how to game different credit cards to get the most bang for your buck for like the different rewards and stuff. There's got to be a Facebook group of people out there who do that with the streamers and the bundles and figure out, hey, everyone, I just figured out that next month, but it's got to be so annoying and tiresome to constantly be toggling on and off and on and off and bundling and rebundling and canceling.
Yeah.
It's almost like they know you're not going to do that work. So
it's the thing is like, I do that, right? I toggle on and off. And if you sign up for everything through your iPhone, like you can go into the App Store and it's really easy to toggle on and off in there. And so I do that. And we usually have no more than like 2 streaming services at a time. And so like I dumped Disney and Hulu for Sling. And then like right now, Sling is the only one that we have, other than I recently signed up for a trial of ESPN and Fox Sports. And then when that trial is over, I'm going to subscribe to that one and dump Sling. Is how that's going to go, because those ones are more expensive than like Netflix or Peacock or whatever else. And then when sports season for me is over, then I'll go back and I'll probably choose 2 different things that we can stream from. But really, like, we really don't do any more than 2 at a time.
The fact that they're like locking down, like all of them are now pushing to where you're not going to be able to log in from other places, or
HBO just did it because we were using our brother-in-law's HBO Max.
Yeah, it's like they were just like, and it emails a code to the original. I don't think this is going to go how they think it's going to go. I think people are just going to get fed up and cancel almost all of them, and then they're going to wonder why their new shows aren't getting millions of views, and they're like, our streaming numbers are down. It's like, if you keep making it harder and harder, and like, I'm old enough to remember when Netflix's CEO tweeted about how it was cool to share your password and they were fine with it. Like, I remember Reed Hastings tweeting that. And so they're not going to get viewership numbers that they want. It's not enough people are going to sign up, and then they're going to have to scramble with the shareholders and try to explain why the show they spent $300 million making is a tenth of the viewership that they wanted.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame them for trying.
Yeah, they're allowed to try whatever they want to try. I don't think, I don't think if everyone's in a space race to create content, making it really, really hard for people to reasonably share with their own immediate family, siblings, parents, stuff like that. I just don't think that that's going to ingratiate yourself into that customer base.
Yeah, I agree. I think streams are going to go down, and I think it's all going to come to a head at some point. There's more problems than just that. It's just that the sheer amount. We've talked about it before. It just seems like they're just throwing spaghetti at a wall with the shows that are coming out now, because the pressure of trying to make it on a broadcast channel isn't there anymore. Mm-hmm. And so now it's like they can literally just pump out 20, 25 new shows per season. And then at the end of one pilot season of 25 different shows, pick 2, which is obnoxious. And so you get it just seems like you get low effort. You get the same stories over and over again. And
yeah, and I get part of that is they probably feel good. Like, well, we're at least padding our library of things new and different titles that'll show up for people. But then there's so much volume. People aren't even talking about, one certain show. It's like the game that I'm playing at work now is like, oh, have you seen? And I'm like, no, I've not even heard of that. What is it? What app is it on? Where do I find it? Oh, that's on a thing I don't have. Okay, I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, what about this show? It's like, no, I haven't heard of that one either. Where's that one at? What's it about? It's not like The Crown, when there was less apps and it's like everyone's watching The Crown at the same time,
Yeah.
Like you would have done with broadcast TV. Now stuff's just getting buried. So it's interesting.
Well, it turns out robots are shutting down your ability to take your friends and family's accounts, but it's still easy to turn your streamers on and off on your iPhone. What's not easy to do on your iPhone, change your pickup location for your Uber.
True. Very true.
Thanks for tuning in, friends. It's been a fun one. Hope you've enjoyed this episode of From the Middle. I know I have. It's good to be back with these guys. Thanks for joining us. And thank you to Artius Man for your partnership. We appreciate your business. If you want some amazing men's grooming products, you should go over to artiusman.com. That's ARTIUSMAN.com. Fill your cart with those amazing, made from scratch, centrally located, organic, healthy, natural ingredient products made right here in Central Ohio. You're going to love them. We like a lot of the scents. We dislike one of them. You can figure out which one that is. And use promo code The Middle at checkout in the promo box to get 25% off of your first order. You'll get credit. We'll get credit. They'll get credit. It's win-win-win. And we like things that are like that. So enjoy those products. We know we like them. And we hope you do too. And we will be with you next Wednesday on From the Middle.
Bye.